surviving these Call of Duty Black Ops 3 zombies. It's not about fancy weapons or running fast. Heck, my buddy Doug here trained 3 miles a day. How'd that work out for you, bud? Now, I'm gonna tell you what you gotta do. Drink Mountain Dew. What? Mountain Dew? That don't destroy zombies. Yes, it do. Dew gives you XP times dose. Do it! See you later, Doug.
Unlock double XP for Call of Duty Black Ops 3 Zombies with Dew and Doritos.
And here we go.
It's the comic book bullies.
Man, you come right out of a comic book.
It's the comic book bullies.
You will bow down before me!
It's the comic book bullies.
Now I am the master.
It's the comic book bullies. It's the comic book bullies.
Welcome back to the Comic Book Bullies with Nerdist New Bully. I'm your host Leroy, aka Solid Snake, with my co-host.
This is Eli, aka Snake Eyes.
There we go. We're coordinating. Yeah. And we're back with another episode. And this is a new episode of Comic Book Bullies. And hopefully everybody had a good weekend this weekend. First off, we had Valentine's week. Hopefully had a good weekend with that one. And we had President's Day. So we want to apologize here at Comic Book Bullies, because we felt like normally we give like Valentine's Day advice beforehand, but we didn't this time. To stop people from making certain mistakes that listen to this podcast. We like to give out advice, just to help you out for your weekend. But we failed. But we decided to give some hindsight 2020 advice, Eli. So can we do that? Can I give out one set of advice I want to give?
Sure.
Okay. So hopefully you didn't do this during Valentine's Day. Now, for Valentine's Day, a lot of people like to, for some people it's for couples, for loved ones, celebrate whatever like that. Some people are proposing. But for some people, they like to profess their affection or, approach that person that they've been looking for the longest. Or as I like to call, shooting their shot. So if you did decide to shoot your shot this year and you sent a gift to that person, please, and I hope for the love of God, you did not put on the list, on the gift, secret admirer. Don't do that dumb shit. Because here's what's going to happen. You're going to send it. She's going to assume it came from the guy that she wish it was from. He's going to just lie and say, yes, it's him. And going to reap all the rewards of your hard labor. Now, do you want that? Yeah.
Or in the Me Too era, you might get arrested.
I don't think, what kind of gift you're sending? Here's a dick pic. Happy Valentine's Day. Like, no, don't do that.
You never know, man. You just never...
Rule number 2, don't send a dick pic for Valentine's Day.
Yeah. Don't send a dick pic. I think
don't do that. Hopefully you didn't.
We had that conversation before. If you're not a male porn star, don't take a picture of your dick ever.
Right. Unless people are paying you normally to see your dick, don't do
that. No
one
one wants to see your dick.
Nobody wants to see your dick. Nobody. She didn't want to see it. Trust me. That's all the things we have before. So Eli, here's the thing. It's Valentine's Day, and I've been actually out of town.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
So Valentine's Day vacation?
I went to go see a friend. So yeah, I was in Dallas the whole weekend.
Oh damn.
Yeah, got the fuck out of Mississippi, was gone from Mississippi. But here's the thing. While I was gone in Mississippi, in Texas, Mississippi, I don't know if you heard about this. I don't know how big this news is, national word, but Jackson, Mississippi, or the surrounding area of Jackson, Mississippi, has got hit with a massive flood warning. So, like I said, I'm not a riverologist or whatever the fuck you call that thing. But like I said, the Pearl River that is closed on the reservoir actually overflooded. So it's like whatever bridge or dam that holds it over, it overflooded that. So that whole entire area is just underwater right now. You know?
Damn.
So I come back. I've been gone in Dallas, in Texas, the entire weekend, hearing all this crazy ass news about click this on Facebook to tell everybody your mark's safe. I'm like, I don't know if I'm safe or not. I don't know what my apartment's underwater or not like that. So I don't know what the hell I was going to come back to Mississippi. I don't know if I was going to come back to the lost city of Atlantis, or, or what, But it was so crazy.
Water World.
Right. Fish World and shit, like that. It was so crazy. Like, I remember I tell you about it got flooded by the reservoir. So some, like I said, in Mississippi. So some redneck pickup truck driving, dude driving down the highway. Took a picture of him. Apparently the river had overflowed on the bridge, and there were fish floating on the bridge. He picked up, just grabbed it, and put it in the truck, and just drove off. I'm like, okay,
There you go.
that's Mississippi for you. So, what else can you expect? So, hopefully everything's gonna go. I'm hearing there's some more rain coming, everything like that. Like I said, my area is safe, but I'm seeing pictures of other places are safe. I just got back in town, so I haven't really driven around Jackson to see how bad it is. But I'm hearing some people are having some rough areas. So, for everybody that's in Jackson, stay strong. So, yeah, that's the thing for that one. So that's Valentine's Day. Boom, that's out the way. No dick pics, no secret admirer things. Remember that for 2021, everybody.
If we're still here.
If we're still
If we
here.
make it out of this year. It's been a rough year already.
Yeah, we may get nuked. Somebody made a joke about that. We went from January to World War III to February World War Z just that quick.
Yeah.
So who knows what March has in store for us? So, also, like I said, Monday is also President's Day. Like I said, we're past Monday, but like I said, it's President's Day. Screw President's Day because it's one of those holidays we don't get paid for, so I don't care about it. For the most part, people have been scared to celebrate President's Day for like the last 4 years now. But we want to uplift the mood. Now, like I said, this is a comic book podcast, and we wanted to celebrate former fictional president. Well, not even fictional president, but like movie presidents.
Cool presidents.
Cool presidents that we like.
Yeah.
Badass presidents.
Yeah.
So Eli, can you give me just raw top of your tongue like one of your favorite movie presidents?
Well, I just Googled this like 5 minutes before we started recording. So
Okay.
this is like, the Google results. I got Chris Rock from Head of State.
Oh shit, that's right. He did become president on that. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know his name. Well, I didn't know the name of his character, but Tiny Zeus Lister in
Okay.
Fifth Element.
Man, what was his name? I know you're talking about, and he was on the list but I don't remember his name. He was the president of the universe or some shit. Yeah,
He was like the president of the galaxy. Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
I got Peter Seller as President Muffley in Doctor Strangelove. He did dual parts in that.
Okay, okay.
So that one, classic flick, Stanley Kubrick. And then Jack Nicholson in Mars Attacks.
You know what I thought you were gonna say?
What?
Jack Nicholson. Oh, not Jack Nicholson. I thought you were gonna say Michael Keaton. Because for some reason I thought about Michael Keaton. Michael Keaton and My President's Daughter.
I don't never seen that.
It's a rom-com. Michael Keaton played the president. Katie Holmes was his daughter, and she fell in love with the secrets. Okay, never mind.
Okay, yeah. I'm not gonna watch that.
Okay. Oh, I can go? Okay.
Yeah, that's all.
I feel like you left off some really good ones.
I just Googled, man. I just write this half-ass homework here, man.
Okay. All right. I'm trying to remember. Okay. First off, number one, we got to pick. I'm pretty sure everybody's favorite pick is President Thomas J. Whitmore in Independence Day.
Oh, okay.
That's everybody's pick. That's like when you say that's like the number one go-to pick everybody goes to. Today we celebrate our independence. Or we
See, I hated that movie, so I wouldn't have been mine.
Oh, that's right. You hate Will Smith. How do you hate everybody else? Jeff Goldblum, Bill Pullman, Data from Star Trek.
I just wasn't. Yeah, I'm just a dick, man. I just did not like that movie, man.
Oh man, that movie was awesome, man. I don't know what you're talking about.
Everyone says, yeah, I know, man. I
Your
guess
childhood
that guy.
was deprived.
I was that good. I was that guy. I mean,
Randy Quaid, come on. In the words of my generation, up yours. Anyway, the great scene. Okay. What was Harrison Ford's president's name in Air Force One?
I don't know, President Jones. I don't know.
Hold up, I'm gonna look it up. We want to make sure we're factual on this show, and because I have it pulled up for me, just
Factual about fiction. Yeah.
facts about fiction, shit that nobody else gives a shit about. We care, so no one else has to. Okay, let's see. What was his name? This thing is taking forever to load up. President. Oh man, I want to say James Marshall. That's what the name. Okay. Also, Thomas J. Whitmore that Bill Pullman played in Independence Day. I think wasn't that a real president? Probably not.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
I don't know. I just made this shit up. Anyway, James Marshall. That was Harrison Ford's name on Air Force One. He was special ops, military, Green Beret. The terrorists tried to take over his plane. and he beat all their asses, beat the shit out of them. And the last dude, he was like, "Get off my plane," and kicked him off the plane. Fucking awesome. Can't beat that. Also, Terry Crews, Idiocracy.
Oh yeah. I
President
forgot about
Camacho.
what I was about to say. Was it Kurt Russell? Wasn't he president in that one flick on the plane? Not Air Force One. Was like Steven Seagal was it? Like
No.
Steven
Executive
Seagal
decision.
died?
He wasn't president.
Yeah, that's it. The executive position.
He wasn't president.
He wasn't president? Oh.
No, he was like an analyst.
Okay.
Yeah, see, the thing was, Steve Seagal supposed to be like this badass Green Beret, whatever,
And he
got killed
died.
off halfway in the movie,
Yeah.
and then it was left up to the analysts to beat the terrorists.
Yeah, I remember that.
Really creepy movie. Have you seen that movie recently? When's the last time you seen Executive Decision?
It's been a while, a good decade or two.
It's a very creepy movie, man. The whole plot of the movie is some terrorists are going to fly a plane into the White House, and they specifically say in the movie we are doing this in the name of Osama bin Laden.
Yeah, this was pre 9/11. Yeah.
This is pre 9/11. It's almost like it almost feels like they're watching it like, damn, that's a good ass idea.
That's what they always do.
Right.
They're like, damn, that's a good idea. Let's fly planes. Now the terrorists are like, damn, these motherfuckers just walk into schools and malls and start shooting up the place. So let's do that now.
Write that down.
That's what they're doing. Fuck this suicide bombing shit.
Right.
That's suicide bombing so passe. Let's just load up our AKs like the Americans do.
Right. Just shoot the shit, just walk out, I feel like I'm missing. And also El Presidente Carlos Estevez in Machete Kills.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Also known as Charlie Sheen. Now, for a lot of people that don't know that, Carlos Estevez is actually his real name.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, because you got Emilio Estevez, and Martin Sheen's name I think is Ramon Estevez.
Yeah.
Because he's actually, I think he's actually from. No, he's not from Spain, but I think his father is a Spanish immigrant. Like he's from Spain.
Yeah.
So they all have
Emilio's the only one with the real name. Yeah.
Yeah, he's the one with the real name. But it's like a bunch of them. And they're all Estevez and shit like that. But Martin Sheen changed his name, to Breaking Hollywood because Ramon Estevez would get like him kept, typecast, stuff like that. So Charlie Sheen decided to do the same thing, but Emilio Estevez kept his own name. But yeah, that's the whole story behind it. So in Machete Kills, in a Robert Rodriguez movie, he went by Carlos Estevez, his real fucking name.
That's right. Yeah.
I love how they introducing Carlos Estevez as the El Presidente. Oh yeah, that's all we got on that one. So that's oh shit. No.
Oh, Escape from New York. What's his name? Donald. Well, he wasn't that cool though.
He wasn't cool. Can I name a real president though?
A real president?
A real movie president.
A real movie. Ronald Reagan?
Was Ronald Reagan in a movie?
He was an actor. He was in a bunch of movies.
I mean, okay, so
In
name
real
a
life.
cool. What was the best movie Ronald Reagan was in?
Oh, I don't know.
Honestly, I'm gonna tell you this: the best thing I remember Ronald Reagan in is The Dark Knight Returns.
Dark Knight
Like not movie, just anything.
Yeah.
Because
okay.
he was the asshole president that's Superman to go kill Batman.
Yeah.
But that's not
meant
what I'm
like
talking about.
what Ronald Reagan movie he was in. I don't.
What Ronald
think
Reagan
that's-
movie was he in?
Wasn't he in like a fucking old gangster movie? What the fucking movie was that?
I mean, when he was like playing a president, not the actual movies he was in.
Yeah.
And I know he was an actor and all this shit.
Yeah. I don't know.
I can't think of anybody. But the one I was gonna name was Abraham Lincoln.
Okay.
In Abraham Lincoln, Vampire Slayer.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
That's the one I was going to talk about because I don't care what anybody say. If you are intoxicated or inebriated, that is the best fucking movie to watch. Period.
You know what's actually not bad either?
What's
is Abraham Lincoln's Zombie Hunter.
Isn't it? I never heard of that one.
It was like a knockoff, like a B movie knockoff. It came on like Sci-Fi, like around the same time as Vampire Hunter.
Oh, okay.
But it's basically, Lincoln fighting off zombies. But the thing is, here's the kick. He gets bit.
What?
He gets bit at the end, and John Wilkes Booth has to fucking put him out.
So John Wilkes Booth is the hero?
He's the hero.
Who the fuck wrote that shit, man?
I
Probably
thought that was
asshole
awesome.
that caught the fish on Brandon. The South shall rise again. Oh man. But here's the thing about the Vampire Hunter movie that I was talking about, the Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter. Eli, that movie is actually really accurate, historically accurate.
Vampire Hunter?
Yes. All they did was take the vampires, just replace the Southern Confederate soldiers and replace them as vampires. That's all they did.
Okay.
Everything else was historically accurate. So it's like whenever you like the Confederate did some shit, like it was a scene. Like okay, I'm trying to remember my history. I don't know my history like comic cast like Boogie and Gomer and all that shit like do. But they ran out of like weapons and bullets to fight the Confederate soldiers. So what they did, they took like silver and metal and all the silvers they could, to make real, bullets and stuff like that for the guns. This is real. This really happened.
Okay, yeah. No, I've seen the movie, yeah.
Yeah. So in the movie, right. You like you said in the movie. So when they're taking silver and stuff like that to melt it, they're killing the vampires because silver kills vampires. Like, and basically, like the Confederate soldiers are like, we're really vampires and we're gonna suck the blood out of it. Awesome ass movie. If you ever seen it, go watch it. If you're inebriated. That being said, can we move on to the actual next part of the podcast?
Sure.
Okay, so next part of the podcast, we're gonna talk about his actual box office numbers, and this is gonna be interesting, Eli. We're gonna talk about this as best we can because I don't know if we're the most equipped people to talk about this. But number one movie. What is the number one movie of the week?
I heard it's Sonic.
It is Sonic the Hedgehog. Blah 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 blah. That ain't the words to it, but that's what I always imagine the words to be in my head. Eli, this movie's just, pun intended, ran away with the competition. Yeah, dad joke, I know. So, it's the highest grossing video game movie of all time.
No shit.
Yes.
More than Resident Evil? Really?
Those movies did not gross a lot of money. Yes, higher than Resident Evil.
Even though they made like 1,000 of them?
They made 1,000, but nobody saw them. They were just cranking them out, just like, we don't care who sees this shit, That being said, Sonic is the highest grossing comic book video game movie of all time. And the second movie on the list is actually the second lowest grossing comic book movie of this decade. Or maybe this millennium. I don't know. It's down there. Birds of Prey, The Fantabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn. Now, we don't know what to call this movie. I checked on IMDb and Fandango and Box Office Mojo earlier in the week. They were calling the movie Harley Quinn. Now they're back calling the movie Birds of Prey. What are we going to name it? I don't know. I don't know what we're going to name this movie. Now, Eli, let's talk about this movie for a second.
Okay.
And I'm going to talk about Sonic in a second, too, even though we hadn't seen it and have no plans to see it. But I'm going to talk about Birds of Prey for a second. Eli, do you have any theories about why this movie underperformed?
Just the PC ones. Oh, it's women.
I'm trying to avoid it as much as possible. That's what
all
everybody
that
else
shit.
is.
I mean, that's what people are saying. I don't know. I mean, I think it's weird because Suicide Squad made so much money, yet not a lot of people like it.
It doesn't make any sense. It made a lot of money. People did not like it. They won an Oscar. So
it did.
Right.
Maybe because Will Smith wasn't in it, but then Will Smith doesn't draw anybody anymore anyways. So who knows?
Okay, well, that's the thing. I think that's a myth. He had one really bad flop last year. I get that. Gemini Man was a flop. I give you that. But Aladdin was his highest grossing movie of his career. Then he turns around and has a hit with Bad Boys.
Okay.
So we can't say that he's not a box office drawer because he's still drawing in people with his box office.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, doom is gloom.
I think they're kind of associating this with Suicide Squad, and maybe that it's Suicide Squad with chicks, and
maybe. Yeah. I give you that. That's a good assessment for it.
Yeah, the last one. I mean, Suicide Squad. You had Harley Quinn, which is okay. She's a popular character. Mm-hmm. Then you have Will Smith. Then you had the Joker. So just that was like a trifecta of popularity. That's probably why Suicide Squad made so much money. Now you take away two of those motherfuckers, and you just got Birds of Prey.
And that's the problem. The name. I think the name did fuck with this movie.
Yeah.
Because if it was Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey, it would have made a few more dollars. I'm not gonna say it would have did $1 billion if you just changed the name of it, but I think calling the name Birds of Prey and having Harley Quinn stuck after this long ass subtitle, you thinking like it's okay, this movie about some asshole chicks I never heard of, because nobody knows who the fuck the Birds of Prey are. Even though they had a TV show in 2003, nobody knows who they are. And
even though she's in the trailers, and you'd figure that they wouldn't be that stupid.
You think, but and that's another problem. Those trailers sucked.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's another thing. So you had suck ass trailers. You have a confusing ass name. So you're like, is this a Birds of Prey movie or is it a Harley Quinn movie? People don't know. People are like, okay, it's another ensemble movie where Harley Quinn may be in a little bit, or maybe she's in a little. No, it's a Harley Quinn movie. That's what it is. And I think if they did a bad job of selling this movie, and I think those things hurt it. Now, Eli, I'm gonna give a third reason why this movie that nobody else has seemed to be bringing up, and I'm not gonna go with these asshole YouTubers, it's woke, it's agenda, it hates men. No, I'm not going that angle. I'm going to go different. And it's an argument that we've been bringing up, but for some reason now we've forgotten. What if, Eli, the reason this movie is failing is because of superhero fatigue?
That could be it.
That could be it. I mean, maybe, like I said, this movie is a much, much better, whatever you think about this movie, is a much, much better movie than Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
And I think if this movie would have came out 3-4 years ago, it would have made a lot more money than what it did now. But the problem is, as far as comic book movies go, we've seen everything that is out there. And yes, this is a different type of movie than what we've seen before, but it's just like people just like, look, I can't do it. There's too many other movies coming out. Now the proof in the pudding will be when Black Widow comes out, depending on what Black Widow does. Now, if that struggles at the box office, we might have a serious conversation with what's going on. Because think about this: Birds of Prey is failing right now. Meanwhile, Sonic the Hedgehog is the highest grossing video game movie of all time. Now we have Sonic the Hedgehog, and last year we had Pikachu, also a video game movie.
Okay.
So Eli, are we seeing a changing of the guard?
Could be.
Could be, because I
always said that. And this is something I want to talk about later in our comic reviews, because I read a comic this week that gets into a little bit about that. I have a theory. I'll get back to that later, though.
Okay, put a pin in that. We'll come back to that. I do want to finish my. And if I step on your toes on what I'm going to say, just let me know, and we'll talk about it later on. But like I said, we might be seeing change of guard, because I've always said that 2020 is going to be the year the comic book movie bubble bursts. That's what I've always said. I said this back when we first started this podcast, because we can only ride this gravy train on biscuit wheels for so long before the wheels fall off. Mm-hmm. And after Endgame, what else can you do that we haven't seen?
Yeah, that's true.
Now, yes, we can talk about Joker, but Joker had its own built-in controversy. People want to go see the movie because the media specifically told you not to go see the movie.
Yep.
It's going to turn you to a mass shooter if you go see this movie. You're like, well, I got to go see this movie now.
You kids shouldn't be listening to that rock and roll.
Right. We're going to ban this movie. So people just got to go see it. They get, well, I got to go see what this is,
Yeah.
So that's built in. Meanwhile, Harley Quinn and Birds of Prey didn't do any of this stuff. There was no controversy to the movie. It was just a movie. It didn't really sell it on the high merits of the movie. The title was confusing, but at the same time, it didn't really do anything to sell you on the movie. That's the thing. And I think that's what hurts it overall.
And that's the thing, is it's sad because it has that Deadpool feel. It's got that hard R-rated violence, and that could have been really cool because you don't get that a lot from comic book movies now. But remember the Deadpool publicity, all that, those marketing. Remember he did those commercials, those PSA ads and shit. Those were hilarious.
And that's the thing. Ryan Reynolds is a marketing genius.
Yeah.
Like fans, he got his own wine company, right? And the Peloton wife that was on there, she had this big marketing thing where she got bigger. So he had her the next day on one of his wine commercials. Promoted on Twitter. Selling his wine. So he's a marketing genius. Meanwhile, I don't know who the hell was in charge of promoting this Birds of Prey movie, but they need to be fired.
But I mean, Harley Quinn did a bunch of PSAs or something. Just her selling the movie, and that's all you needed to just.
Because it was confusing. You got all these other people on it. Because think of it, if you take, regardless of what you think about the movie, take Harley Quinn out of the Birds of Prey movie, does the movie sell? Do you want to see a solo Birds of Prey movie with these actresses that they had in there without Harley Quinn? No. I don't want to see it.
Especially if like Cassandra Cain wasn't going to be Orphan or Batgirl.
Right. Just some regular pickpocket. Like, what's the point?
Yeah, yeah, like what the hell?
Yeah, so the movie fails in that part. But like I said, we got a whole bunch of other superhero movies coming out, and are they really drawing, attention like that? Like I said, only two I can think about is what? Black Widow and Eternals. And the more stuff people hearing about Eternals, the more it's turning people off.
Oh yeah, because there's gonna be gay people in it and shit and all this crap.
Yeah, Eli, do we want to talk about that?
I don't give a shit.
I'm gonna talk about it. Okay. Here's my problem with that one. Like I said, I hate to be one of these asshole YouTubers, but I gotta go there because it definitely does feel like forced diversity. They got the guy, the superhero named Fastos. Fuck his name is, I don't know. Anyway, but they made him black in the movie, and they made him gay in the movie. He's neither black or gay in the comics. He's married to a woman in the comics, so maybe he's on a download. I don't know, but anyway, that's not a story that's there. So, and they're saying they're gonna go out their way to make sure they have a gay kiss in the movie. Now, here's my thing, Eli, with this. I don't have a problem, with homosexuality in general. Love who you want to love, do what you want to do. But I always do see a weird pattern of them always. You remember how they always checking the boxes on everything? We've already talked about this, especially with Disney. Have a problem with this. They gotta have a woman. They gotta have be gay. They gotta have him be black. They gotta have him be any other brown color. They gotta check everything else. We gotta have him transgender. They gotta have something. But they seem to be taking a cheat code around it. And sometimes, well, what if we combine two of those boxes and put them in one? So what I'm seeing is a lot of the black characters end up being gay anyway. We take off two boxes, we're good. And don't give them any kind of characteristics, just black and they're just gay, and don't give.
And that scene's gonna get cut out in the China.
And then it's gonna get cut out in China. That's exactly what's gonna happen. So it's gonna be such a brief scene. We won't even notice it.
And and here's my thing about that shit, because you got all these motherfuckers, all these fucking whiny woke assholes. Yeah, I don't give a fuck. That's what you guys are, whiny woke motherfuckers. Bitching about not being included and all that shit, and then you finally get some shit, like say it's like the Star Wars. They put a fucking gay kiss in Star Wars,
right,
and then they cut it out of China and shit.
Right. Which I didn't even notice until I heard them bitching about it on Twitter.
Yeah. Yeah. They'll take the black person out of the fucking poster. So fucking China is kind of racist and intolerant, and Disney kind of like goes along with them.
Right.
Yet you're still supporting this company. You know what I mean? You're still you're still kissing Disney's ass.
But all they're doing is just following whatever money they can, just following whatever they think can make them money. Oh, we're gonna have a 0.5 second scene with a gay person in there, just mentioning that some people may not even catch, but we're gonna promote the hell out of it to make you think we're doing inclusion, but they're really not.
Yeah.
And it has no bearing on the story whatsoever, and it wasn't even in the original story to begin with. They just threw in there.
Yeah,
for instance,
Yeah, and they're just they and you got all these motherfuckers writing all these shitty, pissed off clickbait articles about diversity, about being woke and shit. Meanwhile, the company that is doing this tolerates this country's intolerance.
Right. And sometimes it's the thing, like when they do all these box checking and things like that, they actually make the problem worse a bunch of times. I'm gonna give you an example, Eli. Your favorite movie, Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Your boy, Slipknot.
Yeah, Adam Beach.
Yeah. Now here's the thing: Slipknot is in the comics. That storyline that happened with him is in the comics, but Slipknot is a white guy. So, like I said, same thing happens. Cap Ruben talked about it to the man. You can run off. You can do it. They ain't gonna do shit to them. He gets killed, blown up, blah. That's it. Okay. But when you take the one character and you race change him, and then you kill him off halfway through the movie before the movie starts, and he has no written lines, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Are you rewarding yourself for that?
Yeah. You pissed off a bunch of natives is what you did.
Because people want to see representation, but what kind of representation you do when you take a character that wasn't that race to begin with, you change him, and then you kill him off anyway. And then you have him really do asshole shit like punch women in the face, so you want him to get killed off.
Yeah. Go listen to the 2 years of Geek Savs before Suicide Squad came out. And we were talking like he's not going to survive. How long do you think he's going to survive?
Right.
How long is the Indian guy in a movie called Suicide Squad with the Joker and Will Smith gonna survive in this motherfucker?
He's like the only guy they
Let's
did
take
kill
that.
off.
Yeah, I was like, okay, is he gonna like killed off right away, or is he gonna be like Billy the Indian from Predator and go out like a G? You know, sacrifice himself like a warrior. You know, because of that noble savage bullshit that everyone likes to see. Like we were talking about that shit forever. You know, and lo and behold, and I was online on native websites because when an Indian guy is in a movie, it's big news in Indian country. Well, hey, an Indian's on TV or an Indian's in a movie, and you get it's news. It's news in native country because there's hardly ever natives on screen ever. So there was all these news outlets, and I'm on there saying he's gonna die, and all these other natives were getting pissed off at me, calling me racist.
Right.
You know, they didn't know I was native because I don't have the cool Native American name. You know what I mean? Eli Finero. That's, it's an Italian Greek shit. You know, I don't have the cool, Indian name with the weathered pattern and the animal, like Thunderwolf or something. You know?
I would love to call you Thunderwolf, though. Eli.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, they all calling me racist because I was just telling like it is,
Right.
he ain't gonna survive. And so basically Slipknot, and I kept saying, they gave the role that nobody wanted to the Indian guy.
Right. He didn't even get a title card.
Yeah.
Everybody else got this crazy ass intro, crazy ass title card. He didn't even get that.
Yeah. That was basically the Indian reservation of acting roles.
Right.
And they gave it to the Indian guy. And I keep saying that, like, okay, if you're gonna include the Indian, have them do something cool. Don't waste it. Because otherwise give it to somebody else. Don't make me go there, because that's what happens. You represent an Indian, you make me go there. Then I start like, okay, how is this going to be perceived? How stereotypical is this role going to be? I start thinking about all that shit, and most of the time it sucks. So fuck giving a shitty role to an Indian guy.
Right.
That's what I say.
Or just in general, I mean, if you're going to just change the role and then make the role even worse than what it was before, like, you're not helping, you're actually hurting. You're doing worse.
Yeah. And gay people who saw the gay kiss in Star Wars were like, oh, that's just tokenism, gay shit. Even gay people were like, that didn't need to be in there.
I'll give you another example. Okay, we just talked about Slipknot, right? I'm going to give you another example about Thor. Now, everybody, I'm not going to talk about, Idris Elba in the movie. He's the only black Asgardian in the role. I mean, we know about Tessa Thompson like that, but let's say in the original movie, the one black Asgardian. What is his one role in the movie? He's a doorman. He's a doorman. That's the thing. Now, when he's white, it doesn't really matter. But when you make the
He's
one
the elevator guy,
right, you make the one black Asgardian a doorman. Yeah, can I get your door for you, sir? Can I get your hammer for you, Mr. Thor? It really stands out. Like, why that has to be the one black Asgardian in the movie? You accentuating these stereotypes more than you are. Even though you think you're checking boxes.
Yeah. Just don't make it. Like I said, don't make me go there. Don't make us go there.
Right.
Like, either do it and make it real, or don't do it at all.
Or don't do it at all, because you pissing us off when you do shit like this.
Yeah,
because you make the black dude in the movie gay. Okay, and you making him a side character, probably won't have any speaking role. Why don't you make the main character gay? Why don't you make Star-Lord gay or some shit like that? They'll never do that.
Shit. That's a more interesting movie to me.
Come here, Drax. Move out the way, Gamora. I don't want you.
Hey, Rocket.
Like Lando, he just fucks anything. It's space. I fuck anything. Come here, Groot.
Fucking Captain Kirk did it. Why the fuck?
We are Groot.
Oh man.
Oh shit.
We just wrote a whole new book series, didn't we?
We did. We're sounding more and more like these asshole comics gators every day, Eli. I don't know what's. We're becoming what we hate.
But yeah, I mean, it's not real. It does seem forced. And if you just don't include it, I'm okay with it, because I'm used to it. I'm used to not being included anyway. So it's no sweat off my balls if I don't, I don't see that diversity. So just tell your story and quit trying to, act like some shit you ain't. Because you're really not. Disney's not really woke, because in the end, China will just censor the scene anyway, and Disney won't give a shit that they do.
Exactly. They'll change the poster. They'll cut out scenes. They'll change dialogue. Whatever they need to do.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, it be inconsequential here, but they'll go on these talk shows, act this shit up like it's a big deal when it's really not.
Yeah.
You know.
Like Taboo writing this fucking Werewolf at Night shit.
Yo, Red Wolf. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody even knew he was native.
Yeah, and he didn't even know he was native until like last month.
I can cash in on this shit. I could be the next Black Panther. No, you can't.
Yeah.
Maybe Turok. You know, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh shit. What are we talking about? Oh, number 3.
Oh, we're still on the movie.
Yeah, we're
Damn.
still on the movie.
Damn, I thought this was going to be a quick episode.
Okay, I told you I could filibuster. I told you I could. Number 3, Fantasy Island. I kind of want to see it, Eli, even though it flopped.
I kind of wanted to see it too. It's like a horror version of
horror version. I don't like. I kind of want to see it because I remember the original Fantasy Island. I'm like, you could make the twist as long as you do some. You know, they playing. Give me that shit. I'm sold. No. Number 3,
It'll be Kevin Hart. Have Kevin Hart doing.
No, see, we just talked about this, Eli.
It'll be Kevin Hart, but then you'll see like clickbait articles about the little people community pissed off that they weren't represented.
Right, they got race change and all this shit like that. Yeah. Number 4, The Photograph. Oh yeah. Okay. That's I know what it is, but I'm not gonna talk about it. Number 5, Bad Boys for Life, still hanging in there. Number 6, 1917, Oscar snub. Number 7, Parasite, Oscar win. It jumped up. It jumped like 240% from last week.
Back in the top.
And that's what the Oscars do. You win, you make money.
Mm-hmm.
So number 8, Jumanji: The Next Level. Why is it still on there? Don't know. Number 9, Doolittle. Don't know why it's still on there. And number 10, Downhill. What the fuck that is?
Don't know what that is.
I don't know. Now, that being said...
that might be the Will Ferrell movie. I think that's the Will Ferrell movie.
He's still making movies?
Where they go on a ski trip or some shit? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not watching that shit.
Valentine's Day shit, I guess, I think.
Nah, I'm watching that shit, yeah. Yeah. Okay, now let me talk about Sonic the Hedgehog for a second. Now, if you want a review of Sonic the Hedgehog, I'm not watching that shit. I'm just letting you know now. Unless Eli watches it.
I ain't watching it.
Yeah. So if you were
we decided we weren't going to.
We weren't going. So if you coming here expecting to hear a Sonic the Hedgehog review from either of us, you at the wrong goddamn place. Find like 50 other million podcasts to talk about this shit because I don't know shit about Sonic the Hedgehog other than because the last game I played was Sonic 2. I did not know there was a storyline to this shit. I didn't know there was other characters and shit or a lore or mythology or no shit. He was just a blue motherfucker with red shoes that ran fast. That's all I know. And Michael Jackson made the music to his 3rd movie, but they didn't put his name on it because of all those accusations he had at the time. Boom. Fun fact. So
Sega Mario, that's all it was.
Sega Mario, that's all it was. So that's all I know about Sonic. But apparently, people are going crazy over this movie. Here's the thing, Eli. Some people think they owe it to go see this movie. They think they're obligated to see this movie, and because
everyone was bitching about the poster. Remember this? Although everybody bitching about it.
Yeah, because they had that first trailer, where he just looked like some kind of weird furry man thing. It was like horrifying. It really was. Getting shit out of me. Had like real teeth and shit in his face. So it freaked people out, and they said, "Don't worry, we're gonna push the movie back. We're gonna spend some money on it, fix everything like that." So when they fixed it, people were like, "Oh, since they fixed it, we have to go see the movie. We're obligated to go see the movie." And some people are seeing the movie as a fuck you to Birds of Prey.
Oh yeah.
Because okay, Sonic listens to the fans. They're doing what the fans want them to do. And other than Birds of Prey with their agenda.
See, fuck those people too.
Right.
You're insulting the fans. Oh, what a bunch of pussies.
Right. So the trigger, So they want to go see this shit. And plus, like I said, Sonic the Hedgehog is rated G, PG, whatever the fuck. You can take the whole family to go see it, watch it multiple times.
Fucking 3-day weekend. Why do you think it made money? Yeah.
Right. Your kids want to see it. Because this thing, like I said, why is Sonic still popular even though his last good game, in my opinion, was 1992? Because of fucking Smash Brothers.
Oh, really? Is that why?
That's why. So these kids know him from Smash Brothers. So
okay.
I was talking to my nephew. I was like, yeah, Sonic, I've known Sonic since 1992. Oh, really? Like, he didn't even know there were Sonic games, other Sonic games.
Oh.
He just know him as Smash Brothers, that's it. So that's the thing. They know him for Smash Brothers. They go see the movie. They're looking. They say they got all kind of Easter eggs, and people are like breaking down think pieces on this fucking movie. I'm like, really? Sonic the Hedgehog? And you know what, Eli? I'm realizing that the shit that they're doing is the way people look at us when we talk about these Marvel movies. know, it's like coming full circle. It's like it ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun. You know. So yeah, y'all look stupid as fuck talking about this Rocky Raccoon shit. Like, okay.
Yeah.
So, and the thing is, because they said they got some.
Let's talk about Tony Stark's 5th Iron Man suit.
Right, the Mark 42. You know, they used to break this shit down. See, in the 3rd movie, in the 5th scene, you know, so they're doing that shit with Sonic the Hedgehog right now. They got Easter eggs shit like that. Spoiler, I don't give a fuck. They said they got a Super Mario Easter egg in there. No, not even an Easter egg. It's like an after credit scene or some shit.
Oh, Mario just shows up.
But like now he shows up like, so, you know, like Sonic, he's like so fast he can break to the Speed Force or some bullshit, you know. So he like runs to another dimension, and the dimension he runs to is the Mushroom Kingdom.
Oh, really?
And then the movie cuts off. That's what I'm hearing. I don't know. So let them. So they've already planted the seeds of a cinematic universe. They're doing what DC can't do. So that's the thing, like Eli, if they go down this direction and they stick the landing on this one, they could fuck around and be the new MCU.
They sure could.
I mean, because MCU is pretty much on their way out. Like I said, all this, no, like MCU is not doing any movie right now that people give a shit about. We don't care about Black Widow. Yes, it's cool, but we know the ending of it. Boom, she died. Spoiler alert. You know, Eternals. Even if there wasn't any bullshit agenda in there, it's like a shit movie. I don't give a fuck about the Eternals even in the comics.
Yeah, what are we gonna see? Baby Thanos in that movie? Like who?
No, they're not gonna be in there. You know. So MCU is on its way out. Boom, nobody cares. But if you got Sonic, who's becoming the Tony Stark of the video game series, they already got a Pokemon series.
There you go.
So they can just throw Pokemon in this bullshit. Mario show up in the next one. Captain Falcon or F-Zero, Donkey Kong shows up. Boom, you got the fucking video game Avengers.
Yeah, there you go. Pac-Man and shit.
Pac-Man, all shit.
That Pixels? Is that movie Pixels?
Who knows how deep this rabbit hole can go? To do from Halo
Hubert,
shows up, anything can happen.
Yeah.
You know.
Like Wreck-It Ralph, you know.
Yeah, they all Street Fighter, Ryu shows up, M. Bison, all of them.
Yeah.
So we don't know how deep this rabbit hole can go. So they get that shit together, they could be the new thing. Because the thing is, like I said, the MCU is our thing because that's what we grew up on. Now the video game, like, yeah, we know this shit, but we didn't grow up on this shit.
And in 10 years, Kevin Feige be like, no, I don't see those video game movies. They're not cinema.
Right. Real cinema like the MCU, like we
real,
used to make.
They're not real cinema.
And then what's going to happen, some asshole director Artur is going to take Mario and make a gritty version of it. But he's going to make a remake of an old 70s movie that he grew up on.
Yeah, it'll be like the French Connection with Mario and Luigi.
Mario, because he's already Italian, so I know he's going to have mob ties.
Yeah.
He's going to be like a
mob
mob leg breaker.
Yeah. Yeah, busting people's
Luigi
legs.
is in trouble. If Mario doesn't get the money, he's going to get a leg broken. Something happens. They go.
The mob boss is called Don Cooper or something.
Don Cooper and shit, you know, give me my money by midnight, Mario. Or your brother is going to sleep with the fish and going to shove him in the water. You know, Princess Peach is going to be his mob wife.
Yep.
Mario's going to be sleeping with her. You know, we're writing a movie right now. Look, I know you 10-year-olds, you're going to write this movie later on. We're telling you right now, write this movie now, make it in 20 years, you're going to win an Oscar.
Yeah, it'll be like one of the Jonas Brothers.
Right.
Will win an Oscar for.
It'll be the grittiest role he ever had. He'll gain 30 pounds, you know.
Yeah.
Oh shit. That's what we're headed to. We've already predicted the future. If they don't kill us in 2020, you know.
Nostradamus.
We're calling it right now. So yeah, that's the movie. MCU, we've had our fun. Comic book fans, we've had our fun. Eventually, somebody under us gonna make the video game bullies. They're gonna make our shit, push us out. We're telling you everything that's gonna happen, so don't get surprised 10 years from now.
Yeah.
Oh shit. So yeah, that being said, that's video game shit. Let's talk about some more shit. Let's talk about Batman. No, I'm sorry. The Batman.
The Batman.
The Batman. Okay. I had an argument with Goma on Twitter, on Facebook, what the fuck ever.
Oh, you crazy kids.
Yeah, we always argue for some reason. Like I said, all I said was they have never confirmed the name of the movie to be called The Batman. That's all I said. The Batman is an internet term,
Fucking dick.
right? Because here's the thing, like I said before, like everybody calls it DCEU. The people at Warner Brothers had never called it the DCEU. The DCEU is an internet term. Period. The internet invented that term. So, and I would say like the Batman, it just came from the internet. Now, Matt Reeves probably like, well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. If the internet's already called the movie The Batman, might as well call the movie The Batman. So that's what the movie's gonna be called, The Batman. And we finally got a screen test of The Batman with Robert Pattinson basically doing his best Daredevil impression, I guess. What was the point of that? I didn't like. You could do it in gray or all black or all white or something, but why red? Red is gonna make us think of Daredevil. It's gonna make us think of like Red Batman. Is that a fuck you to Ben Affleck? Is that what that is?
Well, you're reading way too much into this, man.
I'm just saying. Maybe it's a conspiracy. I don't know. But anyway, they showed a picture of him. He actually has like a neck. He has a collar. So I'm like, Batman doesn't wear collars, but it's their Batman. They can do what they want to. His suit looked exactly like out of Arkham Knight.
Yeah, or it looks like the fucking Nolan suit too. It's like that type of.
It doesn't look like the Nolan suit. It definitely looks like I see. It does kind of like the Nolan suit, but it looks exactly like Arkham Knight. Because Arkham Knight has like those moving pieces to it and shit. And this one, like he was flexing his shoulder, you could see like the shoulder pieces moving.
Yeah.
Oh, like cool.
Yeah.
So it looks like complete metal armor, like he's shooting like bullets bounce off of him. But the most interesting thing people are freaking out about is the bat symbol, the bat emblem, or whatever.
Yeah.
And there's this crazy fan theory online that, and like I said, nothing was confirmed, but they're saying like the pieces of the gun that was used to kill his parents, he melted that down and turned it into the bat signal. Ooh, so
well, wasn't that in one of the comics?
That was in one of the fucking comics. Yes, it was in the Kevin Smith wrote that shit in Detective Comics.
Kevin Smith wrote that one. Yeah.
We reviewed it. If you listen to all of our podcasts, which I know all of you do, we reviewed that and we talked about it and that's it. So yes, Kevin Smith has already written this story. But Eli, it had me thinking.
I thought, okay.
No. You go ahead. You go ahead before
Oh, I thought from what I looked at when I looked at it, I thought he could take the bat symbol off and turn him into bat rings or his grappling gun or something. That's what it looked like to me.
That's some Robin shit.
Yeah. Well, whatever.
I mean, he could, but I don't know. He already
it's
looks
okay,
like Robin,
man. You'll be okay. I'm just saying.
I know. I'm just saying. So yeah, he could do that. But the whole point behind the Kevin Smith story was that because since the gun was a thing that took his heart away, he's like, this is the thing that's going to protect my heart. I'm going to use it to protect my soul. When anytime somebody Killer Croc slashes at him, or somebody shoots at him, or Superman punches him in the chest, shit like that, he's punching like the gun that killed his parents, which is really protecting him now. It's his armor. But here's my thing. Like I said, Kevin Smith wrote this, and we want to say Kevin Smith is this genius. What if he's not a genius, Eli? How long have they been working on the script for this movie? 2, 3 years? Whatever. What if Kevin Smith read that script, because he has the inside track on this stuff, and just stole that shit.
Yeah. Well, his daughter is on like that DC show. If you watch the app, they have that like show that they do every day.
Yeah, the DC Daily.
Yeah, and she's on that show sometimes.
Right, and he's always.
So I'm sure.
Like I hate to talk about Kevin Smith because it sounds like we're hating, because he's also a podcaster, and he's a way bigger podcaster than us.
Yeah, he gets money.
He gets money off this shit. Gomer doesn't pay us shit, So my thing is that yes, he's this huge podcast and we may be hating whatever like that. But the thing is, he may have this inside track and stuff, and he's always kissing DC's ass, because they're always throwing him a bone. They're always letting him direct the episode of Flash or some shit, or he can commentate, or do an after series interview of Christ on Infinite Earth, like that. So DC's always throwing him a bone.
Yeah.
So it would be nothing for him. Hell, he got a chance to look at the Ben Affleck Batsuit before anybody. He was already reporting about it, say this shit. He said he cried when he saw it and shit, all this stuff, whatever.
He's always crying.
He's always crying and shit like that. Like, really, dude? You crying on episode 8 of Legends of Tomorrow? Really? Okay. So my thing is, what if he saw that script and just like, you know what? I'm gonna just write this shit. I can't think of anything. I'm gonna just write that because it's too coincidental. But
hey, never know.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever. He makes money.
I won't argue your theory.
I don't know. Like I said, I'm still thinking that the Sonic thing was a bullshit theory. I'm thinking they made that shit as horrible as possible so fans could bitch so they could turn around and show the real shit. Everything's conspiracy to me, Eli. My antennas are always up. They don't want you to know the truth.
Through the looking glass.
Right.
People.
Look through the looking glass, people. Last thing I was saying about that. Okay, that's the Batman thing. That's cool. I'm excited for the movie when it comes out.
My only thing I was a little disappointed in was I liked Affleck's gray suit. I was hoping it would have that old school kind of flavor.
Yeah.
But like I said, when I saw it, I was like, this is another fucking Christian Bale shit. That's what
we don't even know what this is, which is why DC is struggling right now. Is this connected? Is it not connected? Is he is this the same Batman that Ben Affleck was playing, just a younger version of it? Or is it another universe? What the fuck?
Yeah, I mean, it's not even for me. It's not even that. It's just like I like the look of Affleck's suit. I like that it was a nod to like
it was comic accurate. It really was. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that, and I was hoping they would have did a little bit because you got all these motherfuckers in the book. I mean, in the movie, you got Catwoman, you got Penguin, you got all these, all the shit in this movie. It sounds like just a comic book movie. Like let's have a little bit more flavor. Comic book
make
flavor.
it comic booky, right?
Yeah. So when I saw it, I was like, I've seen that before. You know what I mean? Not that
at this point, what can you do different in Batman's suit that we haven't seen yet?
Yeah, I mean, they're all black. That's why I liked Affleck's suit, because it wasn't all black.
Now, honestly, I didn't think it was black. I thought but like I said, it was all red, so we can't really tell. But I think it may have some gray in it.
You think it's okay?
I think it's some gray in it. I don't think it's gonna be all black.
It would be nice if or fucking blue. If his cowl's blue and shit, and his cape is blue.
This is not Adam West. This is not going to do that shit. I'm never going to go back there. If they do that, that'd be ballsy, but I doubt they do that. So.
Oh, that would piss so many people off.
It will. You're ruining my Batman. Like, fuck you, man.
Yeah.
Let me say it. We got Batman. You saw what he looked like. Now, we can talk about Catwoman also, briefly, because we had Zoe Kravitz came up with a new show called High Fidelity on Hulu. All I want to say, good show. Go watch it. Never seen the original movie. It's good. It was good. Zoe Kravitz, good actress. So, yeah.
All right.
That's about that. Moving past that, Harriet Tubman got a bank card out. Where all I wanted, people are pissed about card? That. Yeah, she got a bank card out. Okay. But here's the thing. In 2020, they announced a few years ago, 2016, 2015, something like that, Harriet Tubman was supposed to be on the face of the $20 bill. That's what they said. Of course, that never happened. Most of us knew it wasn't going to happen. But some bank called One United Bank, all black bank, decided to have Harriet Tubman on their card. Cool. No problem with that. But what people are getting pissed about is that Harriet Tubman is throwing up the Wakanda Forever sign on the bank card.
I was about to say, is she about to do snick with the fucking Wolverine card?
Or Wonder Woman. Or X-Force.
Yeah, why is that bad? I don't know.
I mean, because Harriet Tubman never did the Wakanda Forever sign. Not that I know of. I mean, I know they made a fucking superhero in that movie she made, the one of Oscar, but still. And another problem I have, Eli, she's doing it wrong. Wakanda Forever, the right hand goes over the left. Not the left over the right. She's doing it wrong. So
maybe she's doing Wolverine, man.
She's got to be doing Wolverine or X-Force or Wonder Woman because she's not doing Wakanda Forever because she's fucking up already. It's right over left, right over left. If you're doing Wakanda Forever, do it right. Sebastian Stan, I saw you fuck it up. Because he was on Jimmy Kimmel one time, and he said he was on a plane, and when the stewardess came up to him and whispered in his ear, Wakanda Forever. Because, he was at the end of Black Panther. And he threw up the Wakanda sign, but he did it wrong. I'm like, come on, Sebastian Stan. We're giving you a pass to do it. You can get away with doing the Wakanda Forever sign, but you can't fuck it up. And now you got Harriet Tubman fucking up the Wakanda Forever sign. Just cancel Black History Month, man. Let's just start over. Let's move on past that. Okay, can we move on to the video game section?
Okay, back to the video games. Okay.
Yeah, let's go back. Something real quick. Just real quick I want to talk about that. How long do I want to talk about this? Can I go in depth, Eli, on this? Let me go in depth.
And do whatever you want, man.
I'm gonna do whatever I want. I'm gonna talk about
I'm here for you.
Thank you, Eli. Glad somebody is. Okay. So, like I said, E3 is coming, and there's supposed to be this huge announcement that everybody thinks is a huge announcement that Jeff Keighley is not going to be announcing the E3. And Eli, I don't give a shit any more than you do. Now, why am I talking
really
about this?
don't.
Right, but why am I talking about this? The reason I'm talking about this is because one thing I'm starting to realize is that since Jeff Keighley has bowed out of E3, what that means is that like the video game media or news is dead. Now, you ever heard of IGN, Game Trailers, GameSpot, all those sites like that?
Yeah.
Okay. No one gives a shit about them. The reason no one gives a shit about them because all of those review sites are paid for. Like you can just because back in the, like 2000 or something like that, a lot of these video game companies actually got paid on how their reviews came from it. Like if IGN gave them a 9 or whatever like that, that's how they got paid. So it was a weird thing. That's what it was, but that's what it was. So it was payola involved in that one. You would see that any advertisement in there, if you got 8 pages worth of advertisement, they automatically got a 9.5 out of 10. Eli, those Halo games are not that good. I'm sorry, they're not. But they got 11 out of 10s every single time in those books. Meanwhile, talking to regular people, they don't give a shit about those games. So something isn't adding up there. There's a disconnect going somewhere. But you look in there.
I was a Gears of War kind of guy. So
Gears of War's fucking awesome.
I wasn't a Halo.
I'll give you Gears of War. Gears of War's fucking awesome. Halo, whatever. And they're still getting 5 out of 5 games, even though nobody cares about those shit. But you look in those websites, they got advertisements all over the place. So obviously they're paying for the shit. They're paying the bills, you know. So eventually people start realizing, and that's why you start seeing all these other YouTube video game review sites start popping up, because you realize they weren't getting paid. They weren't like Angry Joe and, you know, Max Bean Dude and stuff like that. You know, they were like, look, Microsoft and Sony aren't in our back pockets. We're going to tell you the truth. We're not going to tell you what IGN and GameSpot's not going to tell you, because you can tell they weren't playing the games. You can tell that they may play like one level and they give a score, or they give a bullshit score like 7.9 out of 9. What the fuck is a 7.9? That's not even a real score, you know. So they just throw this bullshit out there, and you realize, and that's why you don't see, and that's why nobody takes him serious anymore. And Jeff Keighley, you knew he was part of this shit, because that's why he used to sell all that. Remember that shit, Game Fuel, where they had Mountain Dew tie-ins with Halo, and cheese and shit like that. All this shit, and here's the thing, like those used to get advertised on those sites also. So it was all some big money scheme. I told you, Eli, my antennas are always up on this shit.
I remember buying Oreos for a while because I was playing one game.
Yeah, because they told you this shit would make you better at Halo.
Like, ooh, yeah, I'm going to sit here on my ass, eat Oreos, and play video games.
It's going to make me a better player. Like, I'm going to just sit here, eat nachos and Doritos all day and drink Mountain Dew. Nastiest fucking shit ever. But it's going to make me better at Halo.
You don't like Mountain Dew, motherfucker?
Mountain Dew, the nastiest motherfucking shit ever, man.
Oh,
that shit is like Fear Factor drink, man. You got to pay me to drink that shit.
Shit. Man.
I'm sorry, man. We just gonna have to disagree on that. Mountain Dew is the nastiest fucking. That and Dr. Pepper. I don't know what the fuck is nastier.
You don't like Dr. Pepper?
You do not fucking tell me you like
what
Dr.
the
Pepper.
Fuck? What are you, a fucking commie? You fucking hate freedom?
I'm a
you
socialist.
Hate fucking freedom? You freedom hating motherfucker.
I thought this was America.
The hell, man? What do you don't like?
I'm sorry, man. Dr. Pepper is the nastiest fucking soda out there, period. There's nothing fucking nastier, man. That and Mountain Dew. Fuck both of those. So, but anyway, they told you drink that shit to make you better at Halo. All the big conspiracy, all the big scheme, all connected. So I'm just like, I'm so glad all of those sites that went down. Nobody takes them seriously anymore. Game trailers went belly up. GameSpot, nobody gives shit about them anymore. IGN, nobody fucking take it seriously anymore. Matter of fact, people getting fired because they got caught getting paid, getting paid off on reviews. So, damn it, all this shit. Jeff Keighley, get the fuck out of here. You know, go do whatever you want. Go sell your nachos somewhere else or some other company. We don't care anymore. We're out of the Matrix now. We're no longer in the Matrix. We're free.
Do you like Doritos?
I love Doritos.
Okay.
See, I'm not that bad of a guy. I can compromise. That being said, and we got Street Fighter Championship Edition out. Eli, I have to unlearn everything I have learned. I got to start back from scratch. So they got new characters out. Everybody got new moves. Everybody got new frame data. Everybody got new moves, stuff like that. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna be doing for the rest of the week. Playing Street Fighter. Don't bother me. Oh, I'll probably post it on the website, on my YouTube page. But
Eye the Tiger, baby.
Exactly. I have to get laser focused, you know. Okay. Now can we actually move into the actual next part of the podcast?
Let's do it.
All right, so this is the Comic Book Bullies, where we talk about the comic books, and we're going to jump into it and talk about the comic books. And I guess we're going to start off with the X Minute, or what's left of the X Minute. and I'm gonna talk about X-Men number 6, 5, 6, 6. X-Men number 6, and this
Whatever.
is a this is a Mystique-centric story. Okay. So now remember when we talked about so the beginning of the book starts off with Mystique and Destiny, just sitting down, watching the sunset, holding hands, just looking lovely in each other's eyes. And Destiny's just basically telling Mystique, I gotta tell you something. Now I know it's gonna sound crazy as fuck, but it's gonna be happening in the future. So you better listen to what I say. No matter how crazy this shit sounds, listen to what I gotta say because it's gonna be fucked up. Now we cut to the present, not even the present time, but the day. We can actually cut back to the time of Dawn of X. Now, remember the storyline where the X-Men went to the sun to destroy that Omega Sentinel base.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, like I said, Mystique was on that plane also with them. And Mystique gave him all kind of, pushback with them, like, Charles, I don't feel like going with y'all. I did what the fuck I wanted to do. I'm not going. Charles, like, no, you ain't done yet. You got to go with them on the plane to go to the sun because we got a specific job for you. We need you to plant a Krakoan seed out there so we can teleport to that base in time we feel like it. You're like, okay, I'm going to do this one job, but after that, you're going to do what I tell you to do. And like, we'll see. So like I said, we went to the mission. We know what the fuck happened at mission. Everybody fucking died. Everybody got killed. Mystique got shot out of a spaceship, died, whatever like that. Then she got resurrected, but she don't know if she completed the mission or not because, like I said, because they didn't have time to to program their memory before they died. So nobody remember anything what happened when they died. All they remember was what happened right before they left Krakoa. So she don't know if the former version of herself that died completed the mission or not. And Mystique is like, okay, look, I completed the mission I said I was going to do. Give me what I want. I'm like, no, because we don't know if you completed it or not. Well, I'm pretty sure I did. I mean, you're like, maybe. Walk through the portal and we'll see. Why I gotta walk through the portal? Because maybe you did, maybe you didn't. Maybe they booby trapped it. We don't know. You walk through the portal, we'll find out. She's like, man, fuck y'all. So she walked through the portal. Walks to the portal on the other side. She finds a Sentinel base. She's like, oh, okay. But like I said, the Sentinel base is still there. They thought they blew it up, but it's still there. She sees plan for a Nimrod still being built. Like she thought they destroyed the plans, but they didn't. And she sees the scientist that is still building the plans for the Nimrod, and she just leaves her and goes back. And she like, and hold on. So she goes back to Magneto and Professor X, tells them everything is going back in the Orchis base. She was like, remember when we said we were going to destroy the Nimrod base? We didn't destroy it. They got another scientist actually still building Nimrod. And Magneto's like, well, why didn't you take care of it? And he's like, well, because y'all had this rule about humans. And he's like, man, fuck that rule. You know damn well that if you did, if you took her out, we wouldn't have said anything, boy. You would have completed the job. They're like, look, I'm not doing another damn thing for y'all till y'all give me what I want. Y'all brought me back on time, your resume, we on time, but my wife Destiny, y'all bring her back. So I'm not doing a motherfucking thing for you until you bring my wife back. And Professor X is like, no, I'm not bringing her back until you finish doing what I want you to do, because I know you're going to turn on me anytime you want to. So until you pay back your debt to Krakoan society, I'm not going to do a damn thing for you until you complete every mission we tell you to do. And Mystique like, Charles, I hate you. I've always hated you. I've never liked you. And Professor's like, oh, yeah. Feared and hated and feared. Yeah, I'm used to that shit by now. And she just leaves. So then we cut back to what Destiny and Mystique was originally talking about. And Destiny's telling you, here's what the future is going to happen. Now, you're going to go to this island full of mutants. It's not the first mutant. I mean, not the first island like Genosha, but it's going to be the last island. And you're going to go to this island, and they're going to demand this, and this from you. And the one thing you want them to give you, which is me, they're not going to give it to you, no matter how hard you ask, because they don't want you to have it, because they don't trust me to tell you anything else. Here's what I want you to do. If they don't do what if they don't give you what you wanted, whether they can't do it or won't do it, burn that motherfucking island to the ground. That's how the book ends. Like, okay, cool. And the book just ends with Mystique sitting in the room by herself, drinking wine, standing at Destiny's mask. So yeah, Mystique's gonna be a problem. So overall, 4 out of 5. Pretty cool. I always wanted, like, and it kind of shows how assholish Professor X and Magneto really is, because they said they're gonna bring back all the mutants, but they didn't bring back all the mutants, just the mutants that they think not gonna be a problem, the ones they think they can control. So they specifically let Destiny out because they know that if they bring her back, it's gonna be an issue. So yeah, that's what I got with that.
Okay. So we doing Marvel?
Yeah. Yeah, let's go.
Okay, well I'll go with Immortal Hulk, number 31.
Okay, this the Zimu, right?
Yeah. Did you read this?
I did not.
Okay. All right, I'll try to remember this as much as I can. Let's see. Okay, there was like a prelude where Dr. McGowan, one of the Shadow Base scientists who was working on the Hulk and working with Shadow Base, she's basically trying to she's reminiscing about some incidences where she had her first encounters with the Hulk, and then a reminder of this time where she used to work for the Kingpin and she was synthesizing these drugs, and then Daredevil showed up and like basically raided the drug lab, and that was like her first time ever experiencing a superhero. So that was just a prelude, but then it picks up right where the last issue left off, where Roxxon has been trying to frame the Hulk, and they by unleashing these like monsters in the city, and the Hulk and his crew shows up, and we got like Harpy and Rick Jones, who's really weird and shit, and Alpha Flight. They're all fighting these monsters in the city, these big kaiju monsters. But when Hulk like kills one of the beasts, it breaks open and all these parasites come out, and they start attacking everybody, killing everybody. So this, the news channel, whatever, is filming from a helicopter, filming all this shit, and all they see is Hulk unleashing all these parasites on everybody. And they're like, oh my God, Hulk is, creating all this chaos. That's when Zemnu shows up.
Okay.
And
the living Hulk.
Yeah, the original Hulk. And this Zemnu was created by Roxxon as a way to combat the Hulk, and the Hulk starts fighting fighting Zemnu, and that's what it wants. But when Zemnu has this really weird power called like weaponized nostalgia.
Okay.
Where people start remembering, he keeps like, remember me, remember back when you used to play with toys, you remember soda pop, you remember Happy Meals, you remember your old TV shows, and like, yeah, somebody's like I think Victor Creel was like, oh, I remember Zemdu, I remember his old TV show.
Okay, that's a new power. That's not a thing he used to have.
Yeah, so they start remembering all this shit from the past, and Hulk starts fighting them, and that's what Zemnu wants. And then so everybody on the news is like, oh my God, this, the Hulk is trying to beat up this savior. But then they teleport Hulk back to Shadow Base. And McGowan is like having trouble remembering who the Hulk is. And then it kind of like flashes back to the prelude of the comic, where it's like the same laboratory, and McGowan is remembering like the drug raid where Daredevil comes busting through the roof and shit. Only this time it's not Daredevil, it's Zemnu. So Zemnu's got some weird power where he's like messing with people's memories and making them remember shit weird. And that's where the book ends. And I gotta say, it was pretty cool. You got the kaiju action going on, but then this whole Zemnu thing, this whole nostalgia, sort of weaponized nostalgia thing, it's a total comment on nostalgia being a selling point for everything that's coming out these days.
Like Sonic.
Yeah, it's almost like because when he first shows up, he's like, remember me? Like almost like breaking the third wall. Because everyone, I mean, you were talking about how you were excited about seeing this character show up.
Right, he's been around since the 50s and 60s and shit, yeah.
Yes. Oh my God, this old character showing up, blah, 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 blah. And then Zemnu's like, yeah, remember me? Remember back when you were a kid and blah, 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 blah. So he's like, there's almost like this comment on, nostalgia being this selling point, and how it's sort of basically rehashing art, almost in a way. It's all just leading to just rehashed, recycled storylines, whether it be in comics or movies, and how nostalgia sells these days. So I think he's really the book is really taking a dig at the audience with this, which I thought was great. And back to this whole thing when we're talking about we were talking about before, where I said I want to talk about nostalgia.
I think we're talking about Sonic.
Yeah, we're talking about Sonic and how, we had Marvel and now we have this other generation. They're nostalgia.
Right. But
Like,
their
this-
nostalgia
this
from
is-
ours, like the shit they remember,
Yeah, and this is nothing new. Because remember back in the 80s, it was all about the 50s. You had Back to the Future.
Right.
You had fucking, Peggy Sue Got Married. You
Like
had
the
all
good
these
old days.
remakes of old 50 movies. You had, American Graffiti. It was all about the 50s and shit.
Happy Days.
Then you get, Happy Days. Then you get to the 90s and you had Quentin Tarantino, all about the 70s and
70s
the
show.
60s. Yeah, that 70s show. All the grunge music. It all sounded like 70s
Rudy Ray
rock
Moore
bands
made
and
a
shit.
comeback.
Yeah.
All the
Yeah,
rappers
Rudy
kept
Ray-
talking about it, right?
Yeah, and now we have the 80s, so it's like each generation is remembering shit from their childhood.
Right.
So it's like nothing new.
But they want it to be relevant because they take this shit super seriously,
Yeah. It's just, right now we're all about the 80s and yeah, Sonic would be the 90s.
Right. Which that's what we're coming to. Like I said,
Yeah.
were the 10s you could say were the 80s, but the 20s is probably gonna be the 90s.
Yeah.
And we're gonna see
So-
more shit, like I said, a gritty Power Rangers reboot where it's gonna be super serious, rated R, some shit.
Yeah. So other than that, I thought this book was great. What is it, a 4? At least, fuck it, I'll give it a 5 out of 5 just for being that deep.
I was gonna say because you never give a Hulk book less than that.
Yeah, I mean, this really went and made a lot of parallels to how comic, kind of like how Alan Moore does, just all these different layers of commentary.
Mhm.
And I thought that was pretty clever. Like, yeah, Zemnu shows up and, hey, remember me?
Mhm.
Well, now you're stupid for remembering me.
Right.
That's basically what he was
Because he had
trying
like
to
3
say.
appearances like in the last 50
Yeah.
years,
Yeah, what the fuck are you excited for?
Right. I did one thing.
Yeah, just sort of like shoving it in your face. I thought that was funny. So yeah,
Hey, he's that guy
5
I
out of
remember
5.
from that thing. Like I remember, like
Yeah.
we talked about brute force a while ago,
yeah,
and
yeah.
I flipped that over that. Oh shit, a walking, talking dolphin with guns.
Yeah. Yeah, and you got somebody saying, "Oh yeah, Zemnu, I remember his TV show." Like talking about the old Hulk show. And
Right.
Like did Zemnu never had a TV show, but they're just remembering. Like yeah, it was so. I just thought that was quite deep and brilliant. So yeah, 5 out of 5.
Cool. Okay. Next book we're gonna go to is X-Force number. Hell, I don't know. We're getting up there. X-Force number. Give me a second. Yeah. Computer's so slow.
5,
Nah, not 5.
6.
7.
Can't be that. Is it 7 now?
7, yeah. And like I said, X-Force is still by far the best X book out there. It consistently is the best X book back out there. This one doesn't disappoint either. So this is a Domino-centric book. Okay, so this book's about Domino. Like I said, we remember how Domino at the very beginning of this series, Domino got kidnapped by these racist ass X people and got like her flesh, like half her flesh on her right side of her body chopped off and shit like that. But not only did she do that, she also lost her luck powers also. She didn't have any luck powers. Now while she's doing that, also mutant sympathizers and allies to the X-Men all over the world, like, people that are like in charge of countries that are with them and like their partners in the pharmaceutical countries are getting assassinated left and right. But the way they get assassinated is like impossible assassinations. Like a dude will order a pizza, open up the door, and a dude from a building across the street will shoot through the pizza to hit the guy, the target, through the blade and kill everybody, Or he'll be skiing, or not skiing, but he'll be on his motorboat in the ocean, and he'll be on the beach and pop him just like that while he's moving, Like impossible shit's supposed to happen. The only way you do that is if you're lucky enough to do it. So Domino knows it's these assholes doing it, and they stolen her power to make these impossible lucky shots. And the thing is, her powers are gone. Because she holds a pair of dice in her hand. She's like, every time I used to throw this dice, I used to roll a 7. Every single time. Now, every time I throw it, snake eyes. I got bad luck now. So, but they do a cross-reference about exactly where these targets are going. They're like, okay, since we can't get lucky to find them, maybe we get smart to find them. track where their nearest target might be. So they realize that the direction of the targets they're getting assassinated, there's another convention that's going to be in the Alps. I'm guessing the Alps, but some kind of ski slope or something like that. And it's this author that wrote this book about how about the mutants are going to be the next evolution, eventually going to take over the planet, and they know that the assassin is going to come after her next. So Domino's sitting there watching bodyguard, and she spots the shooter. So before the shooter can take the Arthur out while she's doing her press conference, she pushes out the way and dodges her. And the assassin, she's on a ski, so she already got ski slopes on her legs. She just skis off. Domino like carjacks another guy, like throws him off skis, takes his skis. So they like the James Bond ski chase going through there. The assassin like shooting at Domino. Domino was like dodging the shit and throwing it back at her. And Domino's realizing like, okay, if this person has lucky powers, why am I not dead? And then she clicks to her. I'm canceling out her powers. If I get near her, her luck powers don't work on me. Interesting. So Domino chases this assassin all the way into this casino. You know, slow metaphor. But she walks casino, but the way the assassin is dressed, everybody in casino is dressed just like the assassin because she can't find them. You know. But then there's this old lady playing the slot machine, and she can't win, so the assassin just walks up to her, does the thing for her, and she rolls a lucky 7 and wins the slot machine also. And she's like, thank you. And then the assassin takes a helmet off, and it's a Domino clone. But you know how Domino has like white skin with a black thing around her face? This Domino has black skin with a white thing around her face.
So like the movie.
Kind of like a movie like Black. Not African American, black.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So like the opposite of this, so like evil Domino, but that's basically what the book is. So
okay.
Overall cool story, easy breezy, get to the point. I'm curious to see what evil Domino's gonna do. Like I said, they obviously did some fucked up shit when they captured her, so there probably would be nothing for them to clone her. So overall, 4 out of 5. Good strong. So I'm interested to see where the story goes. So yeah.
All right. Well, I guess I'll do this Lilith, Spirits of Vengeance, #1. It's just a one shot of Lilith, kind of what she's been doing while this whole Ghost Rider thing's been going on. As you well know, Johnny Blaze took over Hell. Mephisto's been in prison in Las Vegas, and all the demons have been trying to take over Hell.
Is he running Las Vegas?
No, they got him in some kind of something.
Oh, okay.
Some kind of like Inferno or some shit. But but Johnny Blaze, all the demons of Hell have been trying to like take Johnny's place. And then a bunch of them escaped Hell, and he had to go find them. He teamed up with Danny Ketch, took his Ghost Rider power away from Danny Ketch, and went on to get Mephisto. Then Danny Ketch got that, what was it called? The Spirit of Corruption or something? It's like a knight, like in shining armor with a giant sword. Anyway, that's what Danny Ketch has. But meanwhile, while that was going on, this is what the book was. It shows what Lilith was doing. It's flashback of her creation and her time in the Garden of Eden and all that shit, and how she challenged Hell, and, you know, and how she was resentful when Johnny Blaze got to take over the throne and not her. And basically, she gives birth to a new form, so she looks different now, and she gets Jack-O-Lantern to go back to Earth to kill Danny Ketch. And
I thought they killed Jack-O-Lantern.
He was dead. He was in Hell.
Okay.
And she brought Lilith brought her back. So Jack-O-Lantern goes back to, you know, Brooklyn. Danny Ketch is like, you know, hey, what the fuck? And, you know, I'm not Ghost Rider anymore, so, you know, I got no beef with you. But Jack-O-Lantern's like, no, Lilith wants you dead. So they start fighting. And of course, then the spirit of corruption comes out of Danny. And like, it's just this big knight with a big ass sword. And he kills Jack-O-Lantern. And he's like, oh shit, Lilith's coming back. Uh-oh. Well, I better go get a hold of Johnny Blaze because this ain't good. And that's where the book ends. And it continues in the next Ghost Rider. So it's just a tie-in. That's all. And after reading the Hulk and all that shit about nostalgia, I'm like, this reminds me of the Midnight Sun shit.
Well, but that's what they want you to remember.
Yeah. So, yeah. I was like, so 4 out of 5. I mean, it was fun, but, you know, it was, you know, unnecessary little, you know, what Lilith was doing while all the cool shit was happening. That's, you know,
okay.
Whatever.
All right. Next book I'm gonna do is my last book. Yeah, this is a Black Label book. Interesting. And it's actually a tie-in to the movie that nobody has saw. So it's the name of the movie that it should have been called to begin with. This is the review of Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey, Book 1. That's what it's called. And it's actually the creative team that was behind the Harley Quinn book when it was the #1 selling book at DC, like in the early 2000s, around the mid 2000s, like that. The #1, bigger than Batman. Harley Quinn was putting some stupid ass numbers back then. That's why they're pushing it so hard now, because of the insane numbers she was doing in, back in the 2000s, comic book wise, just related. Let's see how this book. This is a thick book, so let's try to get to it as fast as possible. You read it too, Eli, right?
Sure, I did read it. Yes.
Try to help me out with this. Let's get started. So the book opens up with Harley dreaming about Superman feeding her grapes. Only reason he's doing it because she kidnapped Jimmy Olsen and she's got to feed the grapes, otherwise she's gonna not to give him the location, Jimmy Olsen. Whatever. But she's not actually eating grapes. She actually has feet in her mouth, because when we go to when she wakes up, she's in a bed full of naked chicks and one dude with a male chicken over his crotch. And we all know what a male chicken is. It's a cock. So obviously you get the joke, Yeah.
I didn't even catch that.
You didn't catch that? It was a small joke, but I saw that. I was like, yeah, you can see his cock, So Harley Quinn
Black
sneaks out.
Label.
Black Label.
Again.
Waka waka waka. Oh yeah. So Harley Quinn sneaks out of bed, didn't want to wake the naked chicks and the cock dude up. Goes outside, sits there reminiscing, and she gets a visit from Power Girl. Power Girl apparently is friends with Harley Quinn. I'm pretty sure it's a thing in DC, one of the other books. I haven't paid attention to it. She wants to know why Harley Quinn is in such a bad mood, and Harley Quinn is like, where you can cheer me up, you can take a shower with me. They're like, no, we get some problems. Why you take a shower with me? So this to remind you that if you can't figure it out, Harley Quinn is bisexual. So basically, tell the whole reason why Harley Quinn is in a bad mood. Basically, Poison Ivy broke up with her. Her hotel that she loaned money from this criminal organization called the DeFeos, whatever you want to call it. They beat up her landlord, the dude she was charged, her manager in charge of running the hotel, and they burned it to the ground. The hotel was called the Dreamin' Seaman. And so that's why she's depressed right now. She don't know what to do. Then she gets an idea. Oh, I know what to do. I'm gonna go beat the shit out of these guys, and then pay them back. And she's like, okay, that doesn't even make any fucking sense what you talk about. It doesn't matter. I'm Harley Quinn. I do what I want, So she visits the manager, her manager, Big Tony or Little Tony, whatever his name was. He's in the hospital, got the shit beat out of him. And apparently all those naked chicks and the cock dude in the bed are her gang of Harleys. So she got like this multicultural rainbow coalition of Harley. She got Harlem Harley, Bali Quinn, Carly Quinn, just whatever. And there's also a dude in here named Red Tool who looks exactly like Deadpool.
Okay.
But his backstory is he's from the future. He got into a death match with somebody just to come back and meet Harley Quinn, and apparently he's her stalker. So, but he's Deadpool, basically. So they got a ripoff of Deadpool, who Deadpool is a ripoff of Deathstroke. It's like breaking the 30-second wall. I don't know what the fuck's going on. So that's going on right now. So Harley Quinn is like, first I'm gonna get revenge. So she goes to the DeFeo's base in Coney Island, kills everybody, and it's a funny ass shit she's doing. Like she beats the shit out of one dude, breaks her bat on the guy that's got spikes on him. He slips on the blood of somebody else, falls on the bat, breaks his own spine. She throws a grenade in somebody else's lap, and the grenade has a sign that says "blow me," and it blows up. I thought it was pretty funny. But she says her plan is to go to Gotham City, and they didn't say it in this book, but her plan is to go to Gotham City, rob the Joker, and to pay them back for the hotel, the Dream of Seaman, that burned down. But she's like, well, you can't. You're banned from Gotham City. If you step foot in Gotham City, Joker's gonna kill you. But other people want to kill you. Batman might arrest you. You can't step foot in Gotham City. She's like, nah, I'm gonna go anyway. So she ditches her gang of Harleys and Red Tool to make sure they don't follow her. But she but Joker finds out. Well, Joker and DeFeo and all that, they find out that they're coming after her anyway. So while she's on the train ride headed to Gotham, a whole bunch of assassins come on the train, get ready to kill her. But all of a sudden, Huntress is there. Huntress is trying to tell her, yeah, they're coming to kill you. So Huntress and Harley Quinn fight these bad guys off, One guy gets a drop on him, and your girl Cassandra Cain pops out of nowhere and kick the guy out of the train. Now she's dressed exactly like she is in the movie, but she can't talk. She tries to, but she can't.
Okay.
And of course, she knows karate in this one, so she's actually the Cassandra Cain. It's just that they just made her look like she does in the movie. So she gets off the train, and the first thing she is Renee Montoya. Renee Montoya is trying to snug, no, get your ass out of Gotham City, go back to where you came from. You're not allowed here. Book ends. So that's the book. It's trying to see what this book is. It's not in continuity. It feels like it could be in continuity with those other Harley books. I never read those Harley books, but I'm sort of kind of familiar with them. Since this is a Black Label book, it feels like Amanda Conner, like the like, you know, all bets are off. She can, you know, like, there's no sense of the book she wants to. She can drop as many F-bombs she wants to. She can have as many cock jokes as she wants. She has as much blood as she wants. She can just go off the hinges any way she wants to. So it's basically a more racier book than what it could be. Now, it's nothing like The Boys. Remember how we reread The Boys? It's not pushing an envelope like that. I wonder if the Black Label will ever go that level or go take it that far.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering.
Because, like I said,
I mean, sometimes on the like the Joker Harley and the Harleen book, I mean, it does get pretty dark and violent, you know.
But this just feels like it could have been a regular Harley book, but they just threw in some F-bombs and some extra dirty jokes in there just to make it Black Label-ish, you know. Where if you take the shit out, it could have just fit regular and it would have been no big deal, you know. But overall, it's cool. They shoehorn it. It feel like it could be a New 52 book if they wanted to. It doesn't really feel Black Label-ish. It feel like a regular book that they just made Black Label, you know.
Mm-hmm. Well,
to make it rated R or whatever.
I fucking hated this fucking book.
I didn't hate it. I didn't hate it. It was.
Oh, this book wore me out, man. This motherfucker went on and on.
It was a lot of unnecessary, like, long.
Yeah, they spent like 5 pages on it. Poison Ivy and Harley on a desert island for like 5 pages.
Right, for no reason. It's just
for no fucking reason. It just kept fucking going on, and I'm like, you know, I like Birds of Prey, the movie, and I've been watching that cartoon on DC app.
Yeah,
and I've been digging these Black Label, the Harleen and the Joker Harley book. I've been digging on Harley Quinn lately. This book reminded me of why I never liked her.
Well, that's the thing, because it doesn't feel like a Black Label. It feels like a regular DC book that they tried to force feed into a Black Label book.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, oh, this is how she used to be, just a Deadpool. And I never liked Deadpool either.
Right. That's exactly what it just felt like, a Deadpool rip, or like a female Deadpool. There's even Deadpool in the book.
Yeah, and it was like, okay, like, maybe she
even got like these weird voices like Deadpool has, you know. That beaver that's in the movie is here, and she's talking to the beaver, you know.
Yeah, it just felt really juvenile, like just really stupid, juvenile, you know, raunchy jokes that I didn't find funny. I mean, what the fuck? There was a one joke I can't remember. It was so lame. I was like, did they actually go there? Like that's like the dumbest. They should have said it. Is it going to leave a mark? You know,
right?
Like just really dumb old. Oh, the stuffed beaver. There was an actual stuffed. She made a stuffed beaver joke.
Yeah, like that's how a stuffed beaver's supposed to be, or something. Yeah, like she's
and then
taking
the stuffed beaver starts. And then the stuffed beaver starts talking to her. And there's like a fucking 2-page conversation with the stuffed beaver. I'm like, it just kept getting just dumber
and then people
were
looking in at her, talking to the stuffed beaver, and it was a whole thing. The stuffed beaver also had a hole in him, so I guess Cock Dude was fucking the beaver or something.
Yeah, it was just really juvenile and not funny. And I'm like, at first I'm like, okay, maybe I'm a dude and I just don't understand. And this is geared for women, and I'm not the demographic. But then I'm like, do women like this shit too?
Right. Because like I said, at one time it was the best-selling book. I like I said, I never read a Harley book before. This is the first Harley book I've read. But I imagine this is how those Harley books are. Because remember Cyborgman from the cartoon?
Oh, yeah.
He's in this book.
He's in this book, yeah.
Yeah. So he's a thing. He's been a thing for a while. Him and the girlfriend, because the girlfriend was in the book also. So there are references to, to the Harley cartoon, even though I think that comes from the original comic anyway. So, like I said, I didn't hate it. I just knew that reading this book, I had to put my mind in a different frame. Okay, this isn't Ghost Rider. I can't read it like a Ghost Rider book. I have to read like a Harley Quinn book and put myself in that mind frame. So
Well, I got excited. I'm like, okay, the old school Harley Quinn team on a Black Label book. This is going to be totally nuts. And I was like really underwhelmed and got really bored, and it just kept dragging on and on. Like after reading this book, I put down my books. Like I didn't read. This was like the second book I read, and then I didn't read
I
my
saved
book
this for
for like
last,
a couple
okay.
days. No, I should have saved it for last because I stopped. Like fuck, I took a lot out of me. I didn't read any comics for like 2 days after. This motherfucker. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. I like I said, I didn't hate it. I put my mind frame. I understand this is the type of book it's gonna. This is like some juvenile. I don't know, Archie type shit. I was thinking like reading like an Archie comic or some shit, just with F-bombs and shit like that. Like don't read it like a superhero book. This is supposed to be some tongue in cheek type shit. Read it for what it is. They're making lame jokes about Superman or whatever.
It also reminded me like Tank Girl or some shit. It just meandered so much and just didn't have like a structured plot. It was just a bunch of random crap happening.
Well, it had a plot. It's just that they drug it out for too long. Like I said, the 5 pages with Poison Ivy, when they could have just said, "I broke up with her." Boom, move next round. You know, her manager got beat up. Okay, move on. But they had to drag that shit out. You know, why? Hell, why even have the story where she's gonna blow up the gangster building, but she's gonna pay him anyway? I mean, obviously, it's just padding out the story.
By that time, I think I checked out. I was just,
Like I said, I was like, I read the story all the way through. I was just like, it's definitely padding in this story. I can feel the padding in it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't hate it. I'm gonna say a 3 out of 5. It was okay. I know you. I knew this was something like Eli wasn't gonna like. I knew you weren't gonna like this.
Yeah.
Honestly,
I was
excited.
I think I was just excited. I was like, oh, Black Label. So I was thinking it was going to be like really over the top, like The Boys and shit. And it just like, Harley breaking heads opens. And I mean, there's a little bit of that, but it just could have been pushed so much further. And
that's
then
the thing. It could have been pushed further. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
it didn't go.
My thing is the art.
Yeah.
The art of it. Like when we get these Black Label books, it's got that gritty, realistic art most of the time with this one. This was that very cartoony, Adult Swim looking art. So anything they do is cartoony, so it's not going to hit as hard as like when Batman Damn, something happened there.
Yeah, but they still could have like busted heads open. There could have been enough blood, and they could have did like really cartoony violence, but because they didn't, and because it just like was so dragged out with the random, pointless conversations, I was just getting bored basically. I was disappointed. So.
All right, slap score on it. What you gonna give me?
Fucking 2, man.
I everything you say sound like a 2.
Yeah, and you know me, I try to be nice, but when I hate,
that
when I
is
don't
you
like
being
something,
nice with a 2.
Yeah.
Oh man. Sure, I'm booked out. Whatever you got left.
Oh, really? You didn't read the Green Lantern?
I didn't.
Oh,
I know it's
did.
a whole new story, but I jumped off that book.
Oh, okay.
Like I said, the arc was done, so.
I guess I can. Well, I'll do that one real quick. Real quick. So, Green Lantern season 2, number 1, Young Guardians.
Still
Grant Morrison.
Yeah,
Grant Morrison still on the book. So the universe has been reset. The Lantern Corps is back. The Corps is back in business.
Nothing ever happened to the universe.
That's technically, yeah. Everything's back. Everything's back the same.
Yeah.
Lanterns are back. All that shit. Hal Jordan is being celebrated for defeating Mew and what's her name? Beelzebeth. Yeah. And restoring reality. He's a big hero now. He gets a new lantern and his ring has a bunch of new powers and shit. So he's the man. He has this dream that the Guardians are like leaving to fight some like crisis called the Ultra War.
Okay.
And then he goes back. So when he wakes up, he goes back to Oa, and the Lanterns are all gathered for their job, and he meets this like crystal guy. He's like a crystal, and his name is Rakatoro. I never heard of him, so but he's like a crystal being, and he ends up becoming his new partner. And the Guardians meet up with Hal, and they basically tell him that the Guardians did leave, just like in his dream, and they're going to go fight this crisis, and they need new replacements. And they have to go to this planet called Maltus, and to get new Guardians. I guess they grow Guardians on this planet. But when they get there, Maltus is a war zone. There's like these like space apes attacking everything. The Primorgs. I never heard of these guys. So, but that's what they're called. So they're like these mutant space apes, and they're just destroying the planet. And they destroy all the eggs. This mother, what the hell was her name? I can't remember her name. Anyway, this mother Guardian, she's basically like the keeper of this egg hive of Guardians, and these apes destroyed it all, and they grab her and they kidnap her, and they're torturing her. And Hal and the Crystal guy, what's his name, Rakatoro, they show up, they fight. They fight. There's this big fight with the space apes. They end up taking over Hal's mind, and they're fucking with them and shit. And then until Rakatoro, the Crystal guy, destroys the machine that's controlling Hal's mind, and then Hal takes his ring and like zaps the Crystal guy's like, I'm a piece of crystal. I'm like a grain of salt. So if you shoot me, the light will reflect everywhere else. So that's what he does. He shoots his light beam from the ring into the Crystal guy, and the light beams go all over the place and zap all the apes and make them basically they start to like de-evolve. They start going back to like lizards. They start de-evolving from apes to like rats, and then to eventually like a fish and lizard. You know what I mean? They start de-evolving through the time. And that's like Hal's like, oh damn, I didn't know this could do that. So he's got new powers like with his ring and shit. So basically they rescue the mother, like, okay, everything's cool. And she's like, I'm okay. This has all just been a test. This has been a training exercise for Rakatoa guy, the Crystal, and he's passed. He's now a Green Lantern now. So that was like, this whole thing was just a big, training program. And she has this DNA, and she basically hatches these new Guardians. But they're made up of DNA from all these different species, like a controller, like Mew the controller, like his race, and all these different races. And she created the ultimate beings. So that's what these new Guardians are. They're like the perfect beings. And the young Guardians, they go back to Oa, and they meet with the Green Lantern Corps. And they basically tell the Corps that their way of policing the universe is outdated, and we need a new way of crime fighting. And then meanwhile, some serial killer has been going around killing Green Lanterns, and he's hiding out on Earth, and Hal is assigned to the case. So he's got to go back to Earth to find this Green Lantern cop killer. So that's it. And it's just a wild and crazy tale. You got new ring powers, new Guardians, a little bit of social commentary on police and law enforcement thrown in there. This was crazy. I gave it a 4 out of 5. So
nice. I mean, because what makes this so cool.
Yeah, what makes this book is the art. The art is awesome. Liam
Sharp. The same guy, Liam Sharp.
Yeah, it's fucking great. That's what makes this. That's what keeps me interested, because I'm not familiar with Green Lantern at all, really. But just looking at this book is just great. So I'm digging it. So, yep, that's all I got.
That's it. Okay. Well.
Yeah.
All right, cool. We booked out. So if you listen this long, definitely like, share, subscribe. We have our sisters podcast, Geek Sav and Comic Cast. If listen to them, see the same books that if they review from us. Like I said, we got Get Valiant and Hoodoo TV. Like I said, they're ramping up because when does Bloodshot drop?
Like next month? Is it March?
It's probably like a few weeks or something like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, something like that. So yeah,
coming up.
They're going crazy over there right now. It's DEFCON 5 over there at Get Valiant right now. This Geeks and Comics. This Geeks Comics.
Yep.
Comic book shit talk show. What do they call it? Shit talk comic show.
The previews. It's like a preview show.
It is, but they started with shit talking. That show. Gomer and A.K. Davis on it. Listen to that. Wrestling Council. I don't know if that's still a thing. Talk Val's not still a thing. Is that it? That's all.
Instrumental Destruction. Did you mention that?
Instrumental Destruction. The Transformers one. That one. That all of them? I think that's it. I we had more than that. Oh well. Fuck it.
Oh well.
Somebody pop up and do something.
Outright geekery.
Outright geekery. Brought to you by Trojans Use Condoms. We recycle. Yeah, like I said, next week we don't know what we're gonna talk about. We'll come up with something else. Like I said, I'm loving this Birds of Trey soundtracks. I'm gonna play another song on Birds of Trey soundtrack like I did last week. And this week we'll come up with something else. Until then, this is Leroy.
This is Eli.
We'll talk to you guys next week. Same bully time, same bully channel.
Lock up your sons, make way for the daughters. You breathe the lamb and we'll beat the slaughter. You burn the witches, now you're defenseless. Who needs a wife with this many exes? Lock up your sons, make way for the daughters. You breathe the lamb and we'll beat the slaughter. You burn the witches, now you're defenseless. Who needs a wife with this many exes? Lock up your sons, make way for the daughters. You breathe the lamb and we'll beat the slaughter. You burn the witches, now you're defenseless. Who needs a wife with this many exes? 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 I'm pretty like a car crash, ugly as a lullaby. You really wanna try it?